there's a wheel now. So now when someone does something happens, I can spin the wheel and we can all see at the same time what happens. Yeah, and because of the way the something happens table is, all of the things are very funny phrases. Of just like, darkness happens. Darkness. Alright, who did the something happens? Alan? Jacob? I'm gonna spin the wheel. And I will incorporate this in what a tremor happens. Actually, it probably works out, for what we've got going. I'm super pumped. It's gonna be fun. But anyway, we're just gonna go and get started. It's late. I don't want to run the thing. Thank you for subscribing, Xavier. Boop, boop. My name is Logan, or Never Say Dice on the Internet, and I'm just here to play D&D with my friends. So, last time, in Icewind Dale, you guys were in the town of Easthaven. You went, defeated the White Lady of Loch Dinishir, if that is her real name. You took her.
He said he really is trying to just play D&D, I guess.
I was trying to play D&D, man. You took her cauldron that turns water into tasty, tasty soup. Alan's subscription fell out of the jar. Or Alan's subscription knocked someone else's out of the jar. Oh, God. Oh.
Always causing trouble.
Maybe Carson's gift subscription will knock someone out of the jar.
Well, now he started a hype train.
Now it's a hype train. Now you got to keep doing it. But you guys took her magical cauldron that turns water into soup. You basically put together a massive soup kitchen for the town of Easthaven the next evening, at which you started a very lively theological and moral debate with the town speaker in front of everyone in town.
Sorry.
Not really coming to a conclusion, but sort of understanding both sides. Eventually the meal wrapped up. You went about your business, and then for the sake of brevity, you just spent the evening kind of cleaning up, talking amongst yourself, figuring out what you were going to do about the situation and whatever else. But so this session, there's a lot of just story beats that we're going to be jumping between. So there's time is going to be loosey-goosey. I'm probably going to be barreling from scene to scene, so if there's something you want to jump in and interject with, just yell at me, let me know. The first thing that we're going to be starting with is, we're kind of, again, loosey-goosey time. We may go backwards in time a day, a couple hours. We may go forward in time a little bit, jumping around. But the thing we're going to back up a little bit is that at one point, during the soup kitchen, maybe during the preparation for the soup kitchen, Wynn had to step away. Wynn felt the need to step away to go pray.
Yeah, I could tell you. It was when that douchebag of a priest started trying to call me out.
Oh,
like, you don't know your God, and I was like, the moon's my God, idiot. So.
Yes, he was trying to call you out, so you felt the need to step away and pray. And I have been thinking about this for a while, but because I didn't know what you were going to say, what you were going to do, it is all in your hands, my guy. So you can describe what happened. So I assume you're going to your room or something in this old, the White Lady Inn.
Oh, I loudly stomp up to my room and I slam my door shut and I wait to hear for a reaction. And I slam it again just to make sure. And I'm just pissed. Wynn is just pacing back and forth. He's just there he speaks to me this way. I am a prince. I could have this man killed. I could have this man killed 10 times over if I wanted to. You know what? You know what? Fine. Moon lady. Are you listening? Moon lady? Moon maiden? Moon. Oh, I'll call you Moon. Moon, yes. I'm down here. I'm like your warrior of Twilight or whatever, and this guy, he's checking me. He's checking me. He's trying to tell me, you know what? I was expecting in that moment you'd imbue me with a lot of moon power. I don't know, maybe give me a giant moon sword and I cut his head off, huh? What's going on? What's going on? You know, I feel like there's a weird lack of communication between us, all right? Maybe we can improve on that. But when someone steps to you, let me defend your honor and kill them. Or maybe you could, I don't know, drop a meteor on them. Be great. That'd be great. Actually, you could drop a meteor on this entire town if you wanted to. Show them how powerful you are, Moon. I'd really appreciate that.
You sit there for a moment, waiting, and oh no, that's a long link. There's a tremor that shakes your room. A little bit of your stuff shifts around, an unlit lantern kind of tilts a little bit, wrestles back into place. You feel something rattle against your window. Door and floor and the walls and the ceiling all creak a little bit. And then nothing.
Oh, Moon? Moon Maiden? Gosh, what was your name? It was in that book. Our Silver Lady. That, right? What was the name of the moon? Moon Mommy? No?
Yep.
That's definitely it. Uh-huh. That's definitely what your entire culture called her. Uh-huh.
Saloon. Saloon. Are you there? Saloon? If you're gonna drop a meteor on the tail, make sure that I'm like not in it. I'm your warrior Twilight. Just give me a heads up first.
Hold on, let me look at something real quick. That's never a good sign.
What happens when insult Moon Mommy?
That's not an insult.
Turn to page 42. Okay. That was thorough.
She loves to be called Moon Mommy. Wouldn't you?
No, Baka.
It's like you pick the option no one else picks in the choose your own adventure books.
They're like, we didn't know that was an option.
When?
Mm-hmm.
What is your armor class?
18.
Bonk.
Yep, just bonk. The moon mommy. No, not just bonk, but more like backhand smack that nearly knocks you to your, basically you're just your ass.
Mm. I mean, I'm weeping in tears.
I will go ahead and say that is going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage, I guess. And you,
Well, Mommy, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to hit me that hard. I'm sorry.
and you hear a voice say, "Moon Mommy?" And you turn around and see a almost comic book level muscular man standing there with silvery gold, almost shining armor, helm covering most of his face, but long hair tucked underneath it, kind of darker tanned, but almost reaching a almost gray color in his skin. But you can clearly see some feathered wings tucked in, just peering over his shoulders.
Daddy?
He takes one very hulking step forward. Warrior of Twilight?
No, that's me.
Says who?
The moon, I guess. That's who I pray to. Wait, who are you?
He reaches down and does that thing where he grabs sort of the top of your armor to like lift you up to your feet.
Okay. All right. You're very strong.
You're very stubborn.
Well, I am a prince.
I don't know who chose you. It was not Saloon. But you call on her power as if you were. How?
Oh, my lord. You see, my nanny, she would used to say these weird prayers and stuff when I was a kid, and I picked up on a few of them here and there, and she'd say that one day I'd be like a warrior of twilight, and well, now I can do this cool thing where my eyes roll to the back of my head, and my voice drops like 8 octaves, and I get very scary and powerful. Again, who are you? If you're not Salem?
You see that sort of describing the powers that you've called upon. He's basically, the helm is blocking most of like his eyes, so you can kind of see his nose, his mouth, but it's enough to where you can't pin down most of the facial features. And he kind of tilts his head down, so shadow starts to obscure his face a bit. But you can tell. You can tell that you are not spouting bullshit. Like, he is taking what you're saying seriously. And he lets go of your armor. Puts a hand on your face, basically. You know that thing where, like, you know, your little brother coming at and you put the hand out and hold them back? He basically does that and, like, guides you back down to the ground where you were. I'm a messenger. Keep praying. I'll be back.
The Saloon? Praying to Saloon? Does she like it when I call her Saloon? Or
he turned around and his wings that are folded in, you can see they clearly like settle down. Yes. Or as you say, the moon.
Mommy.
Moon Mommy works. Never heard
Moon
that
Mommy
one
works?
before. I've never heard that one before, but she at least responded to it.
oh wow, I knew she liked that one.
Again, this big hulking Captain Marvel, like just absolutely unbelievably muscular, again, sinking down to everything you say. Yes, keep it up. We've heard you. We'll be back.
Are you going to destroy this town and everyone in? Are you going to show them the wrath of the moon?
He whips around and says, "Why would we do that?"
Because a lot of them, well, one, this town kind of sucks. They keep sacrificing people to like Auril. Have you heard of Auril? Oh Auro's blocking like the sun and the moon from moving. Maybe that moon mommy, someone's blocking the moon. I mean, hey.
Well, moon.
And also, let me tell you, the people here, they just the worst. Honestly, you could eradicate all of them. I'd be fine with it. I wouldn't bat an eye.
You're sure about these powers? You did do those things?
Yeah.
Could you demonstrate a little bit? Yeah.
You want me to try?
Yeah.
Wait, give me a second. Give me a second. It's a little hard to just do on command. Just
The rest of us are downstairs. We just hear Wayne and Ezra going.
I was like, okay. And then eventually he just like turns it on, and my eyes turn starry white and everything, and my voice drops. I am the warrior of Twilight. I don't know what to do now. I didn't think this far.
How are you feeling? What do you want to do? What kind of what is your sort of goal? Do you have an urge to do anything? Do you feel called to do something?
I mean, right now I really want to go beat that priest guy's ass. It's kind of my main urge. I also want to go home. Don't like being in this weird... Tin Towns kind of sucks.
Okay, all right.
I also kind of feel like I'm a little hungry.
Yeah, all right. I get it.
Is that normal?
Sure. Keep praying. We have a lot to think about. Just be careful.
All right.
Great
And
power, great responsibility.
Oh, I think I've heard that one before.
And then I go back to normal. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, that's it. Warrior of Twilight. That's me. I know. It's quite impressive. I know.
Right. Name is Wendell Gallinath, right?
Yes. Window Gallinath, but you can call me Win.
That's your
Everyone
real
calls
name.
me.
That's your full name.
Yes.
Haven't heard that one. All right. And you can start to hear
Wait.
the worry.
Wait. I'm just like, you haven't heard of me? Prince Gallinath of King Galanda? Of the Kingdom of Galanda, one of the biggest kingdoms of the entire
She's
ocean.
calling me. I will visit you soon. And he steps over to your door, changes shape down to this very meager, modest 10-towner, and steps out into the hallway and scurries away.
Goodbye, Moon Angel. I just like Win is just like extremely proud of himself. He's kind of just like power stancing in his room. He's like, yeah, I'm the warrior of Twilight, and Moon Mommy listened. I am so going to take over 10 towns.
Oh no! God.
Everything's coming up with.
It's just Win is finally validated in all of the things that he has claimed that everyone was like, okay, Win, whatever you say.
I'm gonna drop a crater on this place.
Just blow it all up.
Yeah, just destroy the entire place, rebuild it from the ground up.
So do you keep praying?
Of course. Yeah, I keep praying, but Win's never taking praying seriously, so he's kind of just like mumbling, then he starts talking about just his day and just like random stuff. He's just like,
Eventually they come up and they're like, hey, Lynn, can you help us get the soup ready? And you're like, these guys.
You can eradicate them too if you want. I'm just kidding. I need some sort of bodyguards. One of them's going to be an executioner. We've already signed a deal. He doesn't know that yet.
I love the idea of one of them knocking on your door and hearing, you can eradicate them too.
Completely vaporize them. Show them your power.
Oh, fuck me.
All right, I'm coming. And I scurry out.
Yep. Oh, man. Oh, I love it. Jumping a little bit, soup kitchen happens. People, you go through your debates, you serve your food, you go fishing, you do all these things. And then we are going to jump over to Jacob, because I have some checks I want you to make. As you are gifted this spell scroll, as this sort of the second half of your reward for all of these things, you start learning some more about it. It's a spell that's not really known to you, and it's in... Sorry, let me just elbow the shit out of everything over here. It's in some script, and it uses certain language and formulas and diagrams that you might not be immediately familiar with. So go ahead, Jacob, and make an Arcana check for me.
I would roll these dice for it.
I know.
Let's see, 15 on the die, so that is gonna be a 21.
21. As you start to pick apart this spell scroll, it looks like a jumbled mess. It looks like you were doing a group project and everyone just sort of did the project in their own way without talking about what the project's tone was going to be or the topic really or how you're going to do it. So it's just a big jumble of different people's diagrams and wording and, you know, random pictures that have been sketched out and formulas used. And all sorts of stuff, and so it kind of takes you a little while to pick it apart and figure out what goes to what. But immediately, because of that, it's odd for a spell scroll to take such form of being from so many different arcane traditions pulled together and combined to almost not necessarily make a new spell, but recreate an old one, like recreating an old recipe using new ingredients, kind of thing. You see magical origins of the Red Wizards, which you kind of went in expecting, knowing that the owner previously was a Red Wizard. But you also see from organizations like the Many-Starred Cloaks, which is elsewhere in the Forgotten Realms, the Spell Guard elsewhere in the Forgotten Realms, and all sorts of other just unrecognizable random stuff that people have cobbled together. But knowing that this is a jumble of different styles, it leads you to the spell scroll's true origin, which is the Arcane Brotherhood, a very elite organization of spellcasters. They're very well renowned, but they're also very isolated. They're very exclusive, and most people who want to join them are turned away without as bit of an interview or any kind of application. I can send you significantly more details in a moment. But as far as the owner, the Red Wizard that you got this from, his name was Dzaan, D-Z-A-A-N. He seems to be the one that kind of combined all this information together. He was a Red Wizard, but with the prestige of being part of the Arcane Brotherhood, being a part of the Arcane Brotherhood ranks above being a Red Wizard. You're sort of a Red Wizard first, you know, and then you go to grad school and join the Arcane Brotherhood kind of thing. And then knowing what the Red Wizard was here doing, apparently he was burned at the stake for hiring people of 10 towns to do work and then killing them once they finished. He must be here doing work for someone, for something, or doing his own independent research. They don't just go out willy-nilly doing weird stuff like that. And as a follow-up, for a bit of more lore about everything, make a history check for me. Mr. Edumacated.
Really good. Is a 19 on the dice. A 25.
Plenty. I can send this to you in a message as well, but it'll be
Please do.
It'll be also interesting for other people to hear in case you tell them as well later. So the Arcane Brotherhood, it's a group of powerful wizards. Specifically, they have a location called the Host Tower of the Arcane, that is near Luskin, which is just south of Icewind Dale. The Arcane Brotherhood's leadership is made up of very famous archmages, and those archmages handpick all the other members. People who have made great successes in their careers are usually picked over others. It's sort of like, again, it is sort of like a Ivy League extreme grad school kind of thing of just like many people apply, no one gets in except for a very few hand-selected people. But something that you sort of know is that it's the epitome of a true neutral organization. Most people will do just about anything to get in because of the expansive knowledge that the tower holds and the libraries hold, which is why they've cobbled together this old spell into a spell scroll using all of those resources. But what separates the Arcane Brotherhood from a lot of others is that once you're in, you can do whatever you want. You can research whatever you want. You can pursue anything you want. As long
Doesn't
as
matter if
it doesn't matter.
inherently evil. They
Exactly.
just, if it's like knowledge over everything.
Yes,
It
as
doesn't
long
matter
as
what you have to do to get it.
Yes, as long as the security of the Arcane Brotherhood and the Host Tower over Luskin is safe. As long as you put that stuff above your research, you can go do whatever the fuck you want. And so there's a lot of myths and stories about like all sorts of wizardly espionage and trade happening and people backstabbing each other. Some stories just portray the Host Tower of the Arcane Brotherhood like a freaking soap opera of people coming back from the dead and betraying each other, and I was your secret twin all along, and all sorts of crazy stuff for the advancement of crazy old and sometimes forbidden magics.
Okay. So I'll be like researching and taking notes on that while I'm memorizing the spell. But at the same time, I had two other things short things I wanted to do. Firstly, I want to go to whoever makes clothes in town. And after that horrible little nightmare I had about being assassinated, I've decided that
Changing the look.
I'm going to just after Ventus being the fan of books and things, he's gonna try and get just a very classic wizard look and just get like a really big floppy hat. Like I'm talking like wizard, like circular big hat that I can use to like cover up my face a little bit while we're doing things around new places just in case.
Real
I'm a pretty. I mean, I'm a pretty. The thing is, it's gonna make me feel better. It doesn't matter if it actually works or
That's
not.
fair.
It's about the fashion, and that's what I want to do. And I'll pay like way too much for it. It'll probably be like maybe some copper, and I'll just give like a whole gold piece. I don't care.
Yeah. So I was gonna look up a price real quick because you kind of have a reputation here in 10 Towns now. But to sort of basically, if you want to like trade in your clothing and kind of re-up it and get some cold weather stuff and do whatever else, they'll give you a little bit of a discount because of all the soup, and they'll ask for 8 gold pieces.
Just for a hat?
Oh, just for a hat? I thought you were gonna change out your
No.
normal stuff.
That's
Just for a hat.
No,
Oh, gotcha.
I'm attached. I'm attached.
I'm attached.
They don't have the kind of fashion that I require.
That's
in
fair.
this
They
store.
say, "Please look at our fine wares," and it's all
Wow.
brown and gray.
Wow, you've really done something there. No, I'll just have a hat.
Who is this, Travis? Who is adding you right now?
Who's adding me right now? Someone's adding me?
Someone's adding
Travis
you.
off the streets.
PZ police?
You can't- You can't
Oh,
get
I
Travis.
do.
He's stuck there.
Hi.
Okay. So
Hi,
Travis-
Andy.
Oh.
Hi, Andy.
How's it
Um,
going?
I was like, man, is Travis getting attacked for no reason in our chat?
That feels very typical though. I don't know.
But yes, Jacob, they'll probably just charge you like a couple silver, a couple copper. So if you
And
want to
I'll
do
give him a
gold
gold
piece,
piece.
yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to do is I'm gonna start working on. I'm working on developing a couple of my own spells.
Yeah.
And what I would do is, in the midst of kind of our downtime, I'll be like sitting like cross-legged, like on the ground with books open, and like Mage Hand is scribbling notes while I'm scribbling notes, and I have like Zeph running back and forth, getting me more like ink. And
So that raises a great thing. Didn't you send Zeph
I
on
sent
a
him, I sent him to get
well?
listen to the letter.
He doesn't make it. You can feel your spell connection, your arcane connection to him get cut off. And either something got him along the way, or something else happened. He got stuck in a blizzard, something else, but he does not make it.
Okay.
Which means your letter is now just floating in the snow of Icewind Dale.
Yeah, in best case scenario.
Yeah.
Well, at some point I'll resummon him and see if he would remember anything. Not that he can really articulate that. I don't know how that works. Probably
Make an
not.
animal handling check.
Okay.
Gotta bust out animal handling sometimes.
10.
He definitely reappears and doesn't really do or like show anything much, but then when you want to go outside to go get a hat or go do anything, very hesitant of going out into the snow, so you imagine it was something related to the weather.
Understandable.
And it kind of, as a reminder, because it's been a hell of a long time, that's sort of one of the dangers, is the mountains that kind of encircle Icewind Dale are treacherous. And almost magically so.
Okay. I won't worry about sitting about then, but I will be sitting there like taking notes, working on something. And if Gil walks by, I'll go. Can I borrow you for a moment?
Sure. What do you need?
Can you take out your bow and pretend you're about to take aim and shoot something?
Okay.
And I will draw like geometric kind of like bare bones sketches of like the form he's taking, and I'll just like be walking all around him. It's like, yes, angle footing like this, and what I am doing is trying to create like a magic spell that it kind of functions like he would fire a great bow, but I'm putting my own little spin on it, trying to create like essentially creating magical weapons for myself without any like base materials besides like magic in general. So instead of like enchanting an existing weapon, creating the weapons myself.
Yeah.
So I just will have him like stand still for like a little too long, and just like be writing down and like kind of get lost in thought.
Especially
then
because
when-
if you say, like, can you draw the bow? And it's this massive bow, so Gil has to, like, hold it for however long. And then you're drawing your sketches, and you're like, man, I didn't know Goliath had so many muscles.
And eventually I'll like get lost in thought and then look and go, oh yeah, thank you. I'm working on something. You provided invaluable data. And I'll show him, and it'll just be like glyphs. I'm essentially showing him like the algebra of magic that I've like sketched out.
Just
See, Drew, this sigil here stands for power. And this one right here, I put in just so the magic doesn't explode and kill us all.
That sounds like that's a good idea, yes?
Magical experimentation can be a very dangerous thing because I'm essentially trying to create something out of nothing besides just the pure magical energies of the universe. It's a very complicated process, but you've provided invaluable data, and I appreciate you.
I'm happy to help. Please don't blow up the town. Please. Do whatever it is you're going to do. Just please don't blow us up. That's all I ask.
I'll send you what I have in mind for this specific thing, but essentially, it's just going to be kind of like same range and damage as a guiding bolt, but instead of getting advantage, it knocks people prone if they are large or smaller after a saving throw.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it's a two hit. It's a 2-hit spell,
Yeah.
roll a range magic spell, but instead of the automatic advantage, you roll to hit, and it has a chance of knocking
Knocks him
people
down.
prone.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, good to know.
Gondar Windbow. And that's all I want to do for now.
I like the idea of I saw Xavier's message. And I like the idea of like Gil walking away, wind pops around the corner. So I hear you're making a bomb.
right.
I have a
How
need
would
of a
you
bomb,
like to
actually.
destroy this town?
How would you like to blow this place up?
Oh, Jesus. And lastly, as far as the time jumping around stuff, we're gonna hit the day or the day after your soup kitchen. Who? What?
Oh, no.
What?
Okay. Everything froze for a second. I was very concerned.
Oh.
Sorry.
Is everyone else good? Are we all good? I wanna move a little bit. We're going to pick up the morning after your little soup kitchen endeavor. The agreed thing was the following day you could go speak with the townspeople whenever you wish. And you had the time to sort of sit and talk about what you were going to do as far as the cauldron in Easthaven, eventually deciding to hand it over and go solve other towns' problems elsewhere, or elsewise, elseway, else further, else more.
I want to mingle with the people.
Well, it's funny you spoke up, Alan, because that morning, so presumably you guys are going to go have your meeting and then get ready to head out and go do whatever you're going to do next. So, Norm, you are a simple yak man. Your possessions are meager. You have your blacksmith's utility belt and apron, and then your normal traveling gear, and that's kind of about it. So,
Yeah, cargo pants.
in your cargo pants, of course. How could I forget the cargo pants? You...
I had managed to up until now.
As you go and reach for all of your things, you strap on your utility belt and your apron, and you start dropping your tools back in because you just spent the entire day previously, or day before, past 2 days, building a replica cauldron to act as sort of your serving dish. So that way, do what?
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 Go ahead.
So, your tools have been out, you're tending to them, cleaning them off. So as you start reaching and putting things back where they go, you reach for your hammer. And you're a hairy guy. It's cold. You're used to building up some static electricity, touching a doorknob, and it's a little bit. As you reach and wrap your hand around your hammer, it full on electrocutes you. There is a tangible, visible explosion of electricity that makes all of your thick yak hair stand straight out.
Thick.
And you reel back, and there's a bit of steam coming off of it.
Do I like it?
Do you like what?
What kind of question is that? What do you mean?
What does that mean?
It's your character. You choose.
Well, at first you probably don't, but then you realize that the vapors coming up off of the hammer smell like fresh baked cinnamon rolls.
Ooh.
Are you having a stroke?
Are you okay?
I'll do it again.
You reach for it, and before your hand even reaches it, the entire hammer dissolves into a pile of cockroaches that immediately scurries away from wherever surface is sitting on down to the floor and starts piling up under the bed in your room.
Huh.
Hey, yo.
Well, I'm not going to a Cinnabon anytime soon.
Bro, we're not...
Cinnabons are canon. That's canon. That's canon.
It's canon. Cinnabon is canon.
We have a lot we never went to.
I look for under.
You drop down, the hammer's down there. There are no cockroaches in sight. But then a moment passes, and the sort of gemstone crystalline head of the hammer blasts out this radiant sort of purplish pink light, and then in an almost like EDM fashion starts changing colors underneath the bed like it's a little light show.
Bro, I think Norm is tripping balls.
My head nods uncontrollably to the beat. I'm in a room, right?
Yep, you're just in your normal room at the inn.
Okay. Do they have hangers at this point?
No.
Okay. I'll get a broomstick, and I'll like, shimmy it out from under the bed.
As you reach forward with the broomstick, it scrapes across the ground to the opposite side of the room, floats up into the air at almost eye level.
I die for it.
It zips across the room, barely scraping past your head, just clipping your horns, smashes through your window, shattering it completely, and you look and you watch as this little blackened hammer just sails across the rooftops, across Easthaven.
I chase it.
Do you jump out the window or do you take the stairs and go outside?
Yeah.
So you all, as you're getting ready for your meeting with the speaker, and you're like, all right, so we're going to give him the cauldron today. We're going to, make amends with the town of Easthaven. We're going to go save some towns. You hear glass shatter and then hear a thud sound. And the few of you who look out your room window, you see Norm just running across the town.
Like
I
a
need a
bull
drink.
run in, you hear him clamber out.
After just a few moments of trying to chase it, you lose sight of it very quickly, over and over again. You'll occasionally see a little thing dart across the sky, and you realize it's like a bird, and you lose track of it. Then you also realize it's moving way too fast for you to catch on foot, or really for any mortal person. But it's your hammer. You have made it your own blacksmithing hammer. You fought in battle with it. It is your hammer. And it seems responsive. You reach for it, you try to touch it, it responded to your touch. So it seems like you could just get it back.
Oh yeah, I'm playing an intelligent character. Okay.
And
I wouldn't just keep chasing it.
I love that.
I'll say,
fooled
and
us.
as an intelligent Eldritch Knight, you have a feature for this.
I stand still. And I want it back.
And so you all, after hearing the commotion coming from Norm's room, the glass shattering, Norm thudding on the ground outside, you all kind of peek out your window, seeing Norm just dart through the town. Maybe a couple 100 feet away up the road, you see him stop. And Norm, it comes back. It comes back fast. And just from a distance, you watch Norm very quickly just boom, Thor catch his hammer back in his hand as if it just appeared out of nothingness. And you can see Norm inside just all these little radiant specks of light and some energy crackling and the smell of cinnamon rolls wafting off of it, just oozing power and magic.
I do that thing that Eustace did in Courage the Cowardly Dog, where he jumps and he like clacks his heels together in the air, and then I walk back to the inn, like all cool, like as if there was an explosion behind me.
Hey, Alan, how would you describe your character? A cross between Thor and Eustace from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
What an interesting combination, gotta say.
I collect my hooves.
Oh, God. So I imagine you walk back, I guess, the rest of the party. Do you say anything to him as he makes his way back?
I want to start doing like Harlem Globetrotter tricks with it. Just to see like how it responds.
You see, like, one of your party members, you throw it at them, it curves around them, and you call it back to the other hand. You're doing all sorts of, like...
Cool, blimey, you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm still working on my spell. What?
Hey guys.
Yeah, what exactly is... What are you doing?
Diplomacy.
Okay, alright. That told me
Is that
nothing.
the name of your game? Rat as fuck.
Diplomacy, says the 8 charisma character.
Honestly, if that's the name of your hammer, that's rad as fuck.
That's rad.
It's a good name.
That's a pretty good name.
So are you how does it never come back to you?
That's all I say.
Try it.
That explains the things, yeah.
It's taken this long, so I'm finally gonna ask. Hey, Alan, make
Yeah.
either a nature or a arcana check on your hammer.
Nature.
Because I've been waiting for you to ask, and you never have. You just picked it up and started using it, so I was like, alright, I'll just let him use it.
Ooh, okay, 17. My arcana is 4.
So, when they ask you how does it know to come back, you haven't really put too much thought into it. Obviously, but you start looking at like the crystal that it's made of, and it all starts coming together. Whenever you first found it, you met a Durgar who was searching for it and trying to take it from you. You also met Durgar later, who were trying to gather Chardalin, a crystal, ore to build something. As a blacksmith in this area, you've heard of Chardalin. It is more often than not, it is an evil thing. It is an otherworldly crystal that is as hard as any metal, that's used to make all variety of weapons, jewelry, magical artifacts, everything. And it's typically embedded with energy from outer planes, whether good or evil. The exact nature of yours, you do not know, but you do know that Chardalyn isn't magical. It is a great conductor of magic, but it's not magical on its own.
I turn around so my back is facing the group to think and look at the thing for a moment. And then I turn back around and I say, it's a conductor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Can
Understood.
anybody else touch it? Like,
Do you want me to just out? Sure, I'll go for it. I try to touch that
I'll
hammer.
toss it at wind.
Without looking up, I'm still writing notes and working on my spell. I go, I wouldn't do that.
You want to do what? And I
You immediately catch it. Yeah, and when it does something different. The moment you pick it up and hold it in your hand, it glows this very dull gray color. You can see almost like stars in the glittering of the crystal itself. And as you kind of hold it in your hand, it's a hammer. You've wielded a hammer before. You kind of swing it around. But there's something about the weight of it. It leads you to a certain kind of motion that resembles sort of the crashing of waves and this very light, calm, like it feels very natural in your hand.
Oh, it changes colors based off of your personality. It's like a mood ring. Here, and I toss it just in the air for someone to catch.
I'm gonna catch it.
It lets out a
Yeah, seems about right. All right.
and then you immediately watch as the crystal cracks like completely, but doesn't break. And all sorts of little flowers and vines and things start to crawl out of the cracks and form around, where it almost just looks like a bouquet of flowers in your hand.
Damn. All right. I might need this. I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of. How do you get one of these? Also, what exactly does conductor mean?
Conductor is something that attracts electricity, or a conductor is someone who drives a train.
Right. Electricity. Train. All right. Both these things.
Yes, how there is no train. I think it's the electricity thing.
Okay. What exactly is a train? We don't.
Have you
do
ever
we
been to
have
Eberron?
trains?
You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's cool. I'm gonna give it. I'm just gonna like shove it into. I forgot every single fucking person's name. That's
Holding on the layout, Travis.
yeah. It's fine. I'm gonna shove it into Gil's hands for funsies.
Gil has the hammer now. When it gets in.
Gil, it gets unbelievably heavy. And immediately it drops down to about your waist or mid-thigh. The veins and muscles in your arms start to like build up some. But then all of those cracks where the flowers and everything had come out, the flowers shrink back away, but the cracks stay and start to glow this kind of dull golden color.
Okay, I'm kind of curious about these cracks things. Should we not be holding this thing? Do conductors lose conductivity or
I don't think
conduciveness
you're using that right. No, I don't think.
or congruity? Is that something that-
Closer.
That sounds right.
What happens if oh my god, I forgot everybody's name too. Hang on. Okay.
I'm
It's on the
Logan.
stream.
I'm gonna turn and I'm kind of looking at the glowing coming out of the cracks. I'm just gonna turn and like offer it to Kasimir.
That sounds right. I thought you were gonna say you look at like writing on your hand, like, oh, Ventus, yeah.
see what happens again.
You hand it to Kasimir.
Yeah, with the curious expression in my one good eye, I take it and to see what happens.
The cracks turn dark. From when they were golden with gil, they turn dark. Almost seemingly to mend the cracks a bit, and then overtaking the gemstone itself. And then overtaking the handle. Until eventually it starts to get smaller, and smaller, and smaller, until it disappears from your grasp. And then you look and you see a little hammer marking on the palm of your hand. And it forms out into this full shadowy hammer in your hand. And it feels as light as a feather, as if you weren't holding hardly anything.
Ooh.
Yo.
I want to try and put my hand through it.
It goes clean through it, but then that weird, cold, shadowy sensation smells like cinnamon rolls, just for a brief moment.
Cool.
Where'd you get this? I ain't never seen magic like this before.
From a wizard.
That would make sense.
Ooh. Ooh. Ventus, you touch it.
Yeah.
All right.
See what it does for you.
Handing it to Ventus, it immediately floats away from your hand and just starts floating around you and darting around, floating through the air. And eventually, you know, with Zeph flying around you too, they start intertwining in the air, and almost like they're doing this little like bird dance.
Interesting. It seems to change to be a form more befitting.
What?
It's a mood ring. But a hammer.
Okay. Again, you're using terms for things that don't. You said train, electricity, I think, and then mood ring, moon
Mhm.
ring,
Mood.
mood.
Look, you're saying moon, like.
No. I say
Like
that word a
thing
lot.
you
Yeah, I
worship.
can understand how that's confusing. But I'm saying mood. M-O-O-D. It's a D.
Damn, that's how you spell that word.
Yes. How would you normally spell it?
I don't really spell much, to be
The
honest.
D's the one that goes like this, right?
You
I'll
hear
pull Louis to his side. I'm just like, Louis, it's
Yeah.
okay now. Are you illiterate?
Am I illiterate?
Hey,
It's okay. You can tell me.
it's all right.
The
You know,
hesitation
for
in
the-
answering.
That's a good question.
Okay,
I would say, I like to draw. Picture books are good.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
And yeah, kinda. I think. I don't know.
So here's what we're gonna do. Me, you, Kasimir. Every morning, I'm going to read you some stories. I'm going to teach you how to read and write. Okay?
You're gonna read me stories. How is that gonna help me learn how to? Does that how that works? Do I get
Yes,
to learn
you-
through
you
you
need to-
reading?
Yes.
Fuck
You need to
yes.
learn words.
Wait a
Fuck
minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
I
I
will teach you and Kasimir how to read and write. Okay?
Wait a minute. Let me understand
It's
this.
the one
for
nice
you.
thing I'm doing for you. Don't ask for anything else.
Okay,
Gil,
wait a
you
minute. You're
notice
gonna-
someone from across the common room wave, and you see Captain Arlagath take down her hood and everything, and she just says, "I'm about to start my patrols. Speaker Waylen wanted me to let you know that his office is available. He doesn't have any meetings until later in the day, so feel free to stop by whenever. Just wanted to go ahead and let you know that he's available, and if you need anything, I'll be out on the streets." It's seeing now Ventus with the hammer and the toucan flying around you, and all this stuff happening. She looks at you guys, and then just goes and steps away, puts her hood back up.
We're conducting.
It's about right.
Did you say we're conducting?
Yeah. See, is that like music? Is that another like? Are you? What do you mean by conducting? I don't.
I want to call the hammer back.
Yeah, and even though it has, bent and moved for everyone that has held it, it immediately stops in the middle of the air. And to you, Norm, it's as if time slows down and you can watch it zip back across the room and snatch back into your hand. For everyone else, blink of an eye, it is back in Norm's hand, as if it just teleported there.
Cool.
And then, of course, immediately, all the cracks that were in it, gone. All of every bit of magic that was once in it dissipates except for the bit of light and twinkling from Norm and the smell of cinnamon rolls and probably soot on Norm's apron.
Norm, where did you find this?
Do I see that building within eyesight of where we are?
Not within eyesight, but you
And
are...
I'll just point where it is.
Well, as a high intelligence person, you will remember,
Cool.
exactly whose house it was. Does Alan remember whose house it was?
It was like an off-limits house, right?
It was specifically...
Oh, they're holding the dwarf.
Close.
Right?
It was the Red Wizard's house
The Red
who was
Wizard,
executed.
yeah.
It was his house that you found the hammer in, where you found the Durgar searching through his stuff for that hammer. And then you
Yeah.
promptly killed that Durgar.
Yeah. The wizard's house.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should put it away now, just in case the people around here are still a tad bit sensitive to the whole magic thing.
I throw it away.
Where? How? In a trash can? Or do you just toss it on the ground?
How far can I throw this?
Not terribly far.
Okay.
Because it's just a warhammer, right?
I'll put it in a trash can.
You just set it in the trash can.
I say, I'll get it back.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So with that, I need to toilet cat, and we'll take a little break and jump back with your meeting with the speaker and get this show on the road. Yowza. I throw it away. You can't be on stream.
There I was.
Welcome back.
You can't be on stream because it's past your bedtime.
Everyone report Rachel for being up past their bedtime.
Oh, goofball. Anyway. Night. Everybody say
night.
good night to Rachel.
Good to know.
Good night.
Night.
Night night.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good sleep.
Alan, wasn't that you? That one time we were playing on PlayStation and you just went night night.
No, I thought it was, didn't Adam start that?
I don't remember, but it's still funny. Night night.
Cool. So, jumping ahead a bit, Norm throws away his hammer. You gather up whatever supplies you need. You head over to the town hall. You go through the, main entryway. You go into the secretary's office where you see Ronald and
Reagan? Sorry.
You see Ronald Reagan sitting there.
I would like to go
I-
ahead
yeah,
and make
I-
an attack against Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I'll make an attack roll.
I'm gonna smite the shit out of him.
You see, Townspeaker Wayland's little secretary, Ronald or Ron, and then you see his sort of personal secretary, Prudence, sitting there, getting back to their normal work now that the evil wizard has been executed and burned at the stake. They tell you that Speaker Wayland is in his office, and they will lead you there. So they lead you through the rest of the town hall into rooms that you've not necessarily seen before, but I'm not going to take the time to describe it quite yet because it's not very important. So you make it to the speaker's office. All sorts of tapestries, painted landscapes of Icewind Dale, and then a large table with a bunch of high-backed wooden chairs for you all to sit in or pull up. You notice that his chair sitting behind one table has all of the normal Easthaven heraldry on it, stitched into the back rest of it. But of course, for the sake of brevity, he welcomes you in. I assume you are toting the cauldron to give to him?
Yeah, I think we decided that it didn't really matter much. We would give it to him, but he needed to keep it on the down low.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Making it nice and short and sweet. One of the first things he says is he apologizes for the discourse the day before. It's not often they get people coming into town and stirring up trouble in good ways, as you all have. So it's, and especially whenever, particularly in Icewind Dale, when people can lose their life and lose things at the drop of a hat, he got defensive.
That's a shitty apology. I don't accept it.
Oh god. He turns to you, Wynn, and apologizes for disrespecting your beliefs. He was just trying to know more about them and may have gotten a bit heated about it. He just was trying to understand and to meet on an even field.
No, that's great. No, it's fine.
Yeah. Whatever.
Proceeding with the rest of your conversation, giving over the cauldron, explaining to him what it does, and then requesting him keep it on the DL, as it were. You see that this very hardened man, gray-skinned, big, thick, unruly beard, big coat that he wears at all times, he completely breaks any image of this harsh but fair town speaker when he started describing the properties of this cauldron and explained how he used it for the soup dinner the day before. It just changes his entire stance on not necessarily everything, but it definitely changes him. Of course, he agrees to keep it on the down low. However, he says he will want to bring in some trusted people, like his personal assistant or captain of the guard and stuff like that, to sort of, because he's gonna want people to guard it and protect it, and all that kind of stuff. So he will entrust a few people, but he does ask for a suggestion. Since y'all have helped out so much, and this is all new territory, he asks you, basically, what should I tell the townspeople about changing the sacrifices and how we suddenly have food and things like that? As I can think on it, I just didn't know if you all had ideas.
Divine providence.
Carl answered the prayers.
Could say that, yes. That
I
your
would
faith is
say
in
that
someone.
maybe people answer the prayers. Maybe just that your prayers were answered in general. I don't want to give credit to some spiteful deity, but I do want your people to feel like their sacrifices meant something. Because the people that gave their lives for this, they did not die in vain.
You could say that the gods in general. We have had much of a discussion about how perceptions of Orel and how your people and my people see it, but or at least how I see it. But the gods in general could be good.
Maybe throw in a quote or two about the moon. Maybe just a suggestion. Just tossing it out there. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's your choice. It's your choice. I'm not gonna force you.
Killing me, Xavier. While I look for this thing, he does offer, he knows that Captain Arlagath gave you some things for helping out the town, but he does offer to pay you for the cauldron. If you truly intend to keep doing good, it basically says it would be an honor to support your endeavors, as you have supported Easthaven.
I think that would be nice of you. I would certainly love that for sure.
Does anyone object?
No.
Money,
Alright.
please.
I was saying, it didn't sound like anyone was jumping to object. First, what he will do is he will reach into some drawers, of course, probably remove a false panel or two, and pull out a fairly sizable sealskin pouch. You don't hear the tinkling of gold and coins, but when he sets it down, you hear the weight of gemstones.
Mm-hmm.
And he slides them across. It says, as well, you may not know this very well. Icewind Dale is home to some formerly, some currently unsavory folk. Former thieves, brigands, bandits, criminals, any lot who find a second chance out here. People like me can turn themselves around. I was once on the run from the law, if you could believe it. But I've had people repay some debts. And here is that payment of debts. Several gemstones worth hundreds of gold pieces each. Slides them across, and whoever picks it up, you uncinch it. Very quick appraisal. There are 10 gemstones in here worth 500 gold pieces each, totaling to 5,000 gold pieces.
Ayo.
I'm gonna make sure that I was the one to grab it, just so that I'll make sure that our good prince doesn't end up having any hands on it.
Yeah,
just
Speaking of Prince, make an insight check for me, Win.
Oh. Can I get assistance from Ventus?
How?
Because he's also a prince.
Insight is not something you need.
Are your princely intuition?
I think the check, like the reason I'm asking for it, Win would be the one that would have the vested interest in what I'm about to say.
Okay. I got you. Oh god. 14.
Like princes are their own species.
Kinda. Here, yeah. On a DC 12.
Oof, barely.
You know these people. You know these type, the mayors, the town speakers, the nobles who have their debts owed to them, who collect on all of these things. He has more. You know he's got to have more in his coffers. Whatever, this 5,000 gold pieces worth of gemstones, that's not the end of it. But it's up to you, Win, if you want to call him on it and push him.
Oh, he's lowballing us.
He's lowballing.
Oh God.
Excuse me, before we accept this payment of yours, I would like to speak to my party, my crew. Boys, gather. Let's huddle.
I huddle.
Huddle with the boys.
Huddle with the boys.
Listen. I've seen a lot of money. I've seen a lot of gemstones. This is chump change. All right? He's playing us as fools. If we take this and we accept this, all right, we are going to be getting lowballed offer after lowball offer after lowball offer. Okay, well, listen. You never accept the first offer. It's the rule of negotiations. Okay. I know. Yes. Anytime money's on the table, there's always a negotiation. You can always get more.
I didn't think we were really doing this to gain a reward. I thought we were doing some charity work. He's already a lot.
But that's not. No, there's no. We're in 10 towns. We were talking about this already. I want to help the people here as much as possible, and I think the best way to do that is to make sure that we have the money set up going into the future. I certainly agree.
How would lining our own pockets be beneficial to the?
Do you see anybody else helping this town, or any of the others?
Yes, but are we trying to make helping this town a business?
Oh no, but I'm saying if we don't have the best equipment and the most money possible, then we could easily die to the. I mean, I've already died a couple times in this shitty ass area. So like, you're telling me that not having more money would be beneficial to. I mean, this town sacrificed people. I think losing some money is not that big a deal to them.
I don't think that it's going to be doing anyone any favors if we just start demanding heroic services for a price. Would
we be helping the town?
It's not that we're not demanding for a price. We're just saying we deserve more.
Why?
Because we're providing these people with food for forever. What do you fucking mean? We're giving them an endless supply. This thing is worth probably way more than 5,000 gold.
Why are we making their ability to live into a commodity?
Why are we helping them with their ability to live?
I'm sorry, are you not aware of capitalism?
It's not
No,
so much.
comrade, I am not.
It's not.
Yeah, what's that?
I don't want to create any kinds of rifts in our group, but I don't want to be a part of continuing to beat these people down into.
We're not beating them down. This motherfucker had to get the gems from somewhere. You think this man is just gonna hold? He has held up these gems, right? What do you think these gems were for beforehand? They were sacrificing people. You think that this man was going out there using these gems to like elevate the world?
Oh, so you want blood money?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes,
The money.
Money is money. I mean, if you don't need more scrolls, then I understand. We don't need to get you any scrolls anytime we go anywhere.
I got this scroll by doing the right thing. I didn't.
And you think that, and
What?
not all the time will they have the ability to just give you stuff for free. I'm just saying.
And I don't need that.
Okay.
You know what? We let Norm decide.
Why would we let Norm decide?
Just
What?
Norm, buddy, pal,
Oh.
future executioner. How do
What?
you feel about money? You like it, don't you?
How
Don't
about-
you?
Why don't we do a vote? I don't. Why Norm specifically? I just.
Money?
Yeah, you like money?
Okay.
There we go. That sounds like he wins. We all get money. Let's get
Wait.
the extra money. Listen, so how are we going to do this? We're going to shake this guy down, break out.
We
break
don't
his
need to.
kneecaps?
We don't need to do all that.
Okay.
I agree with Ventus in that we don't need to just be.
Is this?
We don't need it. We don't need. We don't
Is
need
this
to be
a lot of money?
Depends on who you're asking. To me, no.
What
I
about
don't understand how you can say that. You haven't had an endless flow of money here, but
Listen, just because my funds, the way that my bank account works, it's-
Daddy isn't giving you any more money, huh?
Nobody said. No, listen. It's just there is a slight delay on my deposit.
Oh, you're getting cut off. It sounds
I'm
like.
not. No one's getting cut off. We don't say those words, okay? We're
half an
fine.
American Express card?
Listen. The funds will be here shortly, okay? Now, the time span of shortly may vary.
I whispered to Kasimir, what do you think about money?
I whisper back. I've got 8 gold pieces to my name. I'm not sure I'm particularly equipped to engage in this here conversation. What about you?
I've got 14. Do you want some?
No. From one as rich as you, I could never.
You know what we could do, all right, is we could just ask for 2 more gold or 2 more gems of the same caliber, so that it's an even split. You know,
Ooh, I like
that's
that
all.
idea.
That's all I'm. I don't think we need to be pulling teeth for this man. He definitely has more, according to you. So maybe just 2 more. How do you feel about that, Ventus? Just 2 more.
Hello.
I don't think we need to. I don't really care about getting a reward in general. That I didn't think that's why we were doing this.
It's not the purpose. It is the fact that over time I have realized that I need better armor. Do you know how expensive armor is? Okay.
And what about Gil and his supplies? Gil as well, right?
Sorry, you went robot and I didn't hear a word you said.
Yeah.
Gil, you're going to need supplies as well, right? And money buys that.
I can be very self-sufficient, so I mean, money to buy new armor isn't the worst thing in the world, but I agree with Ventus. We didn't do this. We weren't originally going to be getting. We didn't know we were getting a reward. I think it would be rude to press when we were already being offered something we weren't being offered. We had no idea we were going to be offered before.
5,000 gold is a lot of money for this area.
What's up?
Can more money help us or help others?
Both? We could distribute it at some point if those of y'all who do not feel as though you need to need money, we could
So I
certainly
think-
distribute it.
Right? We'll each have one, and then we got like 4 left over, right?
Yeah, we got 4 left over. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the state of the 10 towns economy.
It's broke.
Not good.
It has a lot of black market. People have a lot of money that they're just basically. I mean, it's capitalism. They're just hoarding a bunch of money.
I was kind of assuming it was all black market.
It's basically all like independent businesses or black market, and also there's no like banks and things like that. And so for having gems worth that much, you either use it and spend the 500 gold, or you could try to trade it in for gold, but people will probably be like, yeah, I'll take that off of you for 400 gold pieces. And so a little risky to bargain with such high price items, but it can be done.
So we'd more or less be doing like trade a gem for this
Mhm.
thing.
Basically, yeah. And they can maybe give you like change on it or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I guess in that way we're looking at 10 trades worth. Like big trades worth for these gems.
And it also depends, for those of you native to the area, depends on what town you go to. Some places are so cut off and have so little supplies that they won't have anything worth that value.
At the end of the day, I'm not going to leave or stop speaking to you if you want to keep asking for more, but I just don't really think that's something we should do.
I understand the morality of it. It's just from working at a shop, I helped people, but I also needed to get by, and I realized how much more I need to get by now that I'm getting attacked by literally every beast in this area.
5,000 gold is more than enough to get by.
I don't necessarily know anymore. I didn't realize that armor costs as much as it does, or just survival in general. Health potions. I like health potions. When we find them rarely, they're probably going to be super expensive.
You know what? Let's put it to a vote. If you want to try to get more money out of this guy, raise your hand. I raise my hand.
I go 2 more gems would be nice.
Well, all right,
If you
fine.
ask nicely, sure.
Oh. There we go. See, this is why it said norm. This is why I brought it in.
Emphasis on the ask nicely.
Wayne seems like he knows what he's talking about.
Trusting wind, oh no.
We had a moment.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go up to the guy, and I'm just gonna we're gonna turn around, and I'll just say I thank you very much for the gems. I would very much I think from recent survival we have noticed maybe just 2 more gems that we cut it even. We all each need different kinds of supplies, and I think this would help us with trades in the future and help the people that we run across.
Make a persuasion check and do it with advantage, please.
I do not meet his eyes while he does.
Okay. It's either a 24 or 25. I guess I'll go with the 25.
I guess. You can see he kind of drums his fingers across his desk, thinks about it, and says, fair point. And maybe this can help you as you visit the other towns and find an inn with some of the local powers at play, as it were. I don't have more gems with me, but give me about 2 days to call in old debts, outstanding payments. I can procure you some more gems.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much. And
I'm glad we're starting to shake people down now.
No one's shaking anyone. I didn't touch him.
Hey, at least I didn't let him touch him.
Giving you the gems, he does leave you with one parting thing. He says, "Our conversation yesterday kept me up for most of the night.
He's a contra.
I was trying to think about where the idea of sacrificing our own people came from, because it wasn't my idea. And as far as I remember, it wasn't any of the townspeakers. It just sort of appeared. It got brought up at a meeting, a council meeting, and all of a sudden, people were voting for the idea, and it all made sense. We had some visitors just before we had that council meeting and had that vote. Don't remember their names, but you remember Captain Scython. He's sort of one for Arl the Frostmaiden. I heard you took care of that fellow running around killing people, the name of Cephek, whatever his name was. He was a devotee of Arl. They're everywhere, and apparently some of those followers, they are one with Icewind Dale. They're partnered with the plants and animals out there in the tundra. I think druids of some sort. And I don't remember which town speaker it was, but I at least know they visited me not long before that council meeting and said that human sacrifices are what Arl needed to end the Rime. And I may have been the one to bring it up. It may have been someone, whoever from the other towns, but the idea didn't seem like a new one, and so it caught fire quite quick. I guess all that to say, at least I don't think it was our idea. Maybe some other nefarious forces at work, but I guess keep in mind that no one wants to kill their own people. Just all what we thought was right and what we were told.
When was the last time any of these worshippers passed through?
They don't pass through often. In fact, I think that may have been one of the last times. More often, they have their animal and plant creatures doing their own bidding. It's more often you'll see some enchanted shrub walking the paths than one of them. As far as I know, they don't like 10 towns, which may be why they have done what they've done, but
Sounds like I might be a little hard to track down.
possibly. But at least something to keep in mind. But he eventually stands up from his table and chair and gets up to start shaking your hands and thanking you, clapping you on the shoulder. And
I hug him.
you hug him. He is caught off guard. You knock the wind out of him. He thanks you.
Oh yeah, I was thinking, what if you, with the food, change the tradition with it?
How so?
Like a food prayer instead of a sacrifice.
Was that the whole point?
Yeah, but just kind of like cement it more in
As like a ritual, a culture thing.
the town's tradition, you know.
I'll think on that. Says I should hit the books and start thinking on that so I can send a letter to the other speakers and let them know of some changes. Keeping it quiet, of course. But give that a shot. Thank you. And Gil, as he reaches you in this handshaking line, he gives you a big firm handshake, a clap on the shoulder. And first thing that happens, first, where is your mark? On your chest?
Mm-hmm.
There's a tingle on your chest.
Oh no.
Right over your heart. It doesn't hurt.
True love.
More like a tickle, just a tingle. It's like pinch almost. And then those of you standing off to the side, you maybe let out a little gasp or take a step back as Gil's bow, just like whenever he held Norm's hammer, Gil's bow, made of all this bone, cracks, splinters, and starts to shed this golden, dull light in the cracks. And Gil, for a brief moment, you're still shaking hands with Speaker Waylen, but your surroundings are much different. You're standing on this kind of stone platform all by yourself, and the feeling is like, whenever it's unusually cold for a summer day, and it's bright and sunny outside, but then there's this cold breeze hitting your skin. Clouds and wind all around you. The Speaker Waylen's standing there, shaking your hand, turns around, steps away, and walks out onto a platform just made of this kind of dull golden light that ends in sort of an arrowhead shape. And he stops and stands, and a silhouetted clouded form appears, and you see Captain Arlagath. Another one appears, and you see the old, decrepit innkeeper, and you see Ronaldo, the bard, and you kind of see them all standing there, and people of Easthaven. But then you look and see that there are other golden platforms branching off from this stone circle you're standing on. 8 little golden paths in total, all shaped like arrowheads, each with a humanoid silhouette, clouds and fog swirling at the end. And then you feel a on your shoulder as Speaker Waylen claps you on the arm, just gives you a big thank you and just keeps moving on, shaking people's hands with still that sort of tingling sensation on your chest.
Because like after he finishes shaking hands and Speaker Waylen keeps walking, he kind of like absentmindedly just does that. Just kind of like still not like, still kind of like looking ahead, just kind of, and then just puts his arm down and just stands there.
Eventually, with your gemstones, he tells you, reminds you and says, come back in at least 2 days, and he should have his gems for you. He says if you decide to leave town and go pursue whatever else, then, just come find him whenever you're back near Easthaven. But one last thank you. He escorts you back out to the front of the town hall, and then returns back to his office for whatever meetings he has later that day. So, with that, we had discussed previously that you were going to head to Brinshander, where you were once before, because they're another human sacrifice town. Before you do that, if you will tend to the Owlbear Rodeo for a second.
Nice.
I wanted to talk you through something because so y'all are in Easthaven, which is very central to 10 towns almost, and all of the surrounding landmarks. Bryn Shander's a bit farther west. Gil, you have already been asked something of one of the leading powerful families of Bryn Shander, the Black Iron clan, I believe. I have it in front of me.
I was thought it was it Black Iron or Battlehammer?
Battlehammer, I do for 1 minute. I can get it pulled up.
I have notes somewhere.
Black Iron, I believe. Oh, Clan Battlehammer. But I believe they're affiliated with the Black Iron shop that's there. Any hoozle. Yes, Clan Battlehammer. They're a dwarven clan who basically their mining operations supply all of 10 towns with ore. And they had a massive ore shipment go missing after a Yeti attack.
Yeah.
So you already have something you can do for Bryn Shander that is actually, and if you look at the map, I will draw a little circle because
It was supposed to have happened in Dwarven Valley.
right near Dwarven Valley.
Yeah.
So you could head to Bryn Shander, visit, see how things are going, talk to that clan again and do that, or you can head up to either of the Care towns, Care Denival and Koenig, and then go over to Dwarven Valley, because you also, as far as, I have my list here, I'm about to throw a lot of information at you guys, a lot of options. I just didn't want you to just traipse around everywhere with, then have to go all the way back. So the missing ore is near Dwarven Valley, which is near Kelvin's Cairn, which is another place that point of interest because that was marked on your map you got from the Dorgar aboard the ferry. You also heard of a rumor from the White Lady, the ghost herself, about a cult-filled castle in Cair Denival, which is up near sort of the Kelvin's Cairn way. And also Kasimir's cabin and Louis' shop are up near the Cair Denival, Cair Koenig way. So you can either go up that way and tackle any number of those things, or you can head out to Bryn Shander, see what you can do, talk to the clan, and see if there's any other things that can be done. And it's totally up to you guys. And for perspective, as far as travel time is concerned, things aren't a million miles away. I mean, they are covered with snow, so it's a little bit harder to travel. But travel time to get from Easthaven to Bryn Shander, it will take you basically a full day travel, 7.5 hours. So it's not like you're spending weeks on the road, but it's a day there, a day back, and then if you want to go to Cair Denival, it's like another day. So I just didn't know how you guys want to proceed and which direction you want to go.
I guess I will, because I know I've brought it up before, but I guess I'll just bring up the hey, so if we end up, since we are thinking of going to Bryn Shander, we might as well detour and take care of this, so that way when we get to Bryn Shander, we have already taken care of something. And we'll probably make our time in Bryn Shander easier from the get-go. Kind of thing.
That sounds good to me. I don't know.
And if we want to stop in a Cair Denival and then head over, just, I don't know, lay over or something, however we want to do it, that's there.
Just make sure. So go up to Cair Denival. We're going up first, and then we're going over, and then.
Or we can just go.
You can either head straight there, or like you said, do a layover in Cair Denival and see what this cult-filled castle is about.
But I leave that up to the group, because either way we will accomplish something. It just depends on how long we want to take to do it and then get to Bryn Shander.
Yeah, and presumably if it is a shipment of ore, that's not really something you can just put in your backpack and walk around with. That's something you're going to have to immediately take back to Bryn Shander because it's a big old shipment of something.
Yeah.
So the ore is related to the thing in Brinchander.
Yes.
Yes.
And, it may not fix all the problems or anything, but at the very least, it could get you a foot in the door of, like,
Yeah.
we help.
Because when we were there briefly, the sheriff mentioned that the battle hammers were trying to find assistance for that, and then I talked to some of the battle hammers before we left about it. And Clan Battle Hammers got a big presence there, so having we help them out, they'll probably make our lives easier or make whatever we have to do smoother.
Mhm.
I'm down for the shipment.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Do we just want to go straight to it?
Yeah. I'm looking at this map here, and honestly, as long as we stay far away from Dugan's Hole, I'm good.
You don't care what you do.
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near a place called Dugan's Hole. I'm good.
Dugan.
And why is it a hole? Is it a literal hole? Is it a hole in the sense that it's a trash dump? Like, what are we talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
So just to confirm, the plan is to go directly to the spot where you were pointed for the battle. You're not layovering in Caer Dineval. Correct?
Nah, I'm going straight to it.
Yeah.
Straight to it. Rad. So if everyone, probably the final time for at least the next couple sessions, depending on how long it goes, if you will all give me 1 gold piece for upkeep and paying off any tabs and gathering up food and whatnot to make this journey out there.
Did we
just
remember-
to make sure, how much money do we have now?
1/8 of my
Well,
life savings.
So
Each
you have,
person-
yeah, I was gonna say you have all of your normal gold pieces that you had before, but now you have gemstones worth 500 gold pieces, and then however you want to divide it up, you have 10.
I was just gonna have us have like a extra bag of 4 that we can just have around.
Party fun.
For like party fund, yeah.
So this gets 1,500.
So everyone has 1 500 gold piece gem, and for the sake of spellcasting components, it can be a diamond. I'm not gonna be that nitpicky about like, it's actually this gemstone. Like, I know.
Yeah.
It can be a spellcasting component if you need it to be.
Oh yeah, that'll be really helpful for our cleric.
Well,
Hey, at some
you'll be fine,
point,
Travis.
eventually I can get. Eventually, I can get revivified. At some point.
Give it time.
Yeah,
Give it time.
in like a year.
It's
You
fine.
want me to spot you, Kasimir,
What's that?
with the gold?
Do you need 1 gold piece, Kasimir?
I appreciate it, but I play my
Got you, bro. Yeah, I got you.
Did this place have armor? I didn't remember if this place had an armor.
Let me
before they
look
did.
at Easthaven's services real quick. Well,
Because-
I will go ahead and say, what kind of armor are you hunting for, and how much does it cost?
I was just at the very least looking for some studded leather. Let me actually see. Armor.
Because I
I
will go
mean-
ahead and say there is nothing magical in almost
That's fine.
none of
I'm
these
not-
towns.
I'm not assuming this place has anything
Good.
$500. So, yeah. Obviously, this place probably doesn't even have a breastplate.
What's that, like 400 gold?
Yeah, 400 gold.
There we go.
With a blacksmith background, how long would it take me personally to make a suit?
Oh,
of
like
something?
weeks and months.
Weeks? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Travis, I would say let's make this interesting, shall we?
No.
Because Easthaven has a very high services ranking. Travis, go ahead and just roll a d20 for me. And if you
So-
get a 13 or higher, they have the breastplate you desire.
Nice.
Oh, it got stuck. 19. Oh.
They have the breastplate you desire, and because you have such a reputation around these parts, they're more friendly to you than they were previously. They will sell it to you at the normal base cost with no upcharge.
Hell yeah. I will even just tell them. No, I'm not going to tell them anything. That sounds good. Does that mean they're going to give me $100? I'm going to trade them in a gym.
Yeah, so they'll take your gem, and they will do whatever they can to give you change. Basically, we'll just call it. I want to be mean. 99 gold pieces and what is it? 2 electrum.
Yeah, I'm fine with That's fine.
They hand you the electrum, you smack it out of their hand and leave.
It'd be like, yeah, there'll be $75 and 2 Sacagawea coins.
I'm just kidding. Take
I'm
100 gold pieces.
No, I'm adding those 2 electrum.
So you can give it to someone else and be like, hey, fuck
electrum
you.
was previously used to balance a wobbly table.
Yeah, they pull it out from their chair.
I'm giving that to somebody else soon.
Yeah, so you get the armor you desire.
Hell yeah.
And what we will do is we'll pick up with a little travel sequence next time. But first, as you guys go back to your rooms, get everything geared up, get yourselves ready to head out on your journey to go find this shipment of missing ore. Gil. This is almost purely mechanical things, but a little story thing. Gil, I assume at some point you want to check your chest.
Yes.
So as you go back to your room and you're collecting all your extra clothes and armor, whatever else, you check the mark, which was a circle, 8 arrows, sort of singed into your chest. Now it's 7, and 1 arrow looks more like a scar than a mark. And your bow looks like normal. It looks like it did before. Except, Austin, you know what this means. You get a spirit point.
Oh, fuck yeah.
There's a lot
So all you have to do
I was literally looking at that document earlier. Like, yeah, anyway.
So all you have to do is just shake 7 more leaders' hands in the.
That's all it
And
takes.
then I get 7 more spirit
Cut
points,
to Gil
baby.
walking through town, like shaking everyone's hands. But yeah, with that, any questions, final thoughts, comments,
I do
things
have a
from
question
people?
for you,
Mhm.
and that is about that kind of specifically, sort of a quick question. With the way that the tiers, how they're level based, are we doing that? Like, I can only deal with those tiers when I am that level.
I believe
Like tier 2 is level 5+,
Yes.
or is
yes.
recommended live 5+. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Any other thoughts, final things before you guys head out into the cold, unforgiving wilderness?
Out once again we go.
Okay, Alan, I gotta ask, do you get your hammer out of the trash?
I mean, what's it say here?
He's trying to see the range to see if he can just call it.
You can summon weapon as a bonus. So just as long as I'm here.
As long as you're in the same plane of existence, yeah.
You can just.
And I know that,
Yeah.
I'll just leave it.
You check, they've already taken out the trash. It's gone. Some mercenary probably has it. Some bandit bashing in peasant skulls has your hammer.
And one day he's gonna be going to
And it's gonna
bash his skull in, and it's just gonna disappear.
I like the idea less so that it's disappearing.
We're gonna get attacked, and someone's gonna have my hammer.
You're
I'm like,
gonna yank it.
or what? Like what? From one of the fucking Thor movies, like, hang on, it takes a second.
Yeah.
I've
It's just
got
like
the
destroying
fire.
buildings,
Yeah, just flying through a crowded marketplace.
killing people along the
Yeah,
way.
like Invincible style. Just
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, that's a good.
Like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You know? It's just gonna go on a journey.
I like that
The
we're all
traveling
talking
hammer.
about like superhero things, and Alan brings up
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like,
Yeah, and Alan, I forget. Was the hammer murder scene in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants? Was that in the deleted scenes index, or was that a blooper?
the blooper.
Yeah, that was actually, they deleted it in the bonus features, a trailer for the second movie.
When they all go to court.
I was about to make another joke, but then I mentally realized I was confusing it with Sex in the City. They're the same thing, right?
Basically. By
Don't
the
come
way-
at me. Don't come for me.
Don't come-
Also, wait. One thing. Also, who all in our party is illiterate? I need to know.
It wasn't. I don't know what my character is anymore. I'm starting to lose.
Okay.
I will say, Gil is not illiterate, but he definitely reads Giant way better than Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he has to do it a little slowly.
Yeah.
It's like when you take that class, when you take a foreign language class in high school, and you can read it. It just takes you a second. That's how Gil is with common.
Is Gil one of those non-native speakers who, when he gets angry, he starts swearing in giant?
Yes, 100%.
And I feel like Louis wasn't illiterate. He just had a bad memory. And so it like
He doesn't remember how to read.
Yeah, it translates probably.
That's what I was thinking. Like Louis for some reason always is just like, I don't know. What is this?
What's that word? What does that mean?
What does that word mean?
Listen, every morning on our journey, I'm going to be spending at least an hour trying to teach you how to read.
I love the fact that you're going to do this with somebody who has actually zero memory. You're going to be teaching someone who
Every
has
day.
no retention.
The same thing every day.
Apple.
One ear out the other.
Apple.
Apple.
Okay. Apple.
As soon as we get to British we're getting like a group subscription to Rosetta Stone.
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right, we have how many gemstones worth how much? All right, how much is the subscription each month? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Duolingo is going to go in there, and all Louis is doing is just doing it for the points. He doesn't actually retain any of the words.
He just does it for the
I'm
game.
glad you're pulling from real life experiences, Travis.
Right?
Isn't that what D&D is?
Oh man. Yeah.
No,
and-
we're still on stream, I guess.
yeah,
right?
technically, yeah. And Xavier, you got to thank Jacob, Jacob, for that something happens early on, because for your prayer, I was like, I don't know what Xavier's gonna ask. I don't know what he's gonna do. So here are some ideas, and we'll see what he does.
Yo.
And if
Jacob,
And if nothing had happened, I probably would have let nothing happen and see what like Win would do. But then Jacob did the tremor, that something happens, and I was like, all right.
Jacob is responsible for Moon Daddy.
Moon Daddy, Moon Mommy.
Moon Daddy.
God.
Thank you, Jacob.
Okay, well, it is much later than I thought, but not as late because I aimed for 10:30, so I think we're okay.
Nice.
Thank you guys. It was a wonderful first session.
Yeah.
I needed it.
Yeah.
I didn't play D&D for a month.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a while.
There it is.
Ow.
There it is.
Much needed. Much needed.
Back at it, baby.
We'll schedule off stream because that's lame. I don't want that to be in the pod. But thank you everyone who tuned in. I think Ian tuned in and talked about my butt for a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how was your birthday a while ago?
Yeah, I never texted him back. I'm bad about that on my birthday. Whenever like I get a million messages like of happy birthday, I respond to like half of them, and then I forget to respond to the other half. So
Yeah.
The whole time he thought it was so bad, you like just couldn't talk about it.
yeah. Well, he also in his happy birthday message, he also said you still have to show us your butt. So
It is fair of him to say that. Mostly because I was informed that I had to.
I'll
So,
make
yeah.
that a channel goal where people can use their tings to contribute to the goal. That if I get like
Yeah.
a million tings, I'll show you my butt.
Yeah, that'll be the end of channel spectacular because then we'll get banned.
Yeah.
You said 1 million? That would take me a while, actually. I only
Yeah,
have
that's the point.
31,000.
Which is why which
That's
is
the
great
point.
because
Yeah.
then by the time we
And I'll
get
make
to that
the
point,
I'll
we're
make
gonna want the
the
channel to
event
end
last
anyway.
like a day, an hour.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just
an
asking-
hour of butt time or an hour of like lead up?
An hour? No, only an hour of people being able to contribute points.
Oh, okay.
Not
was
an
not
hour
clear
of
to me.
butt. That's a lot of butt time.
Yeah,
I
I'm just
don't-
like, are you
I don't-
gonna, I don't know, bang out like bongos, paint a funny face?
I don't need nearly that much butt time.
All right, well, I should probably end the stream.
Speak for
soon.
yourself.
So yes, thank you, Eve,
Oh.
for stopping by. Thank you, Travis's friend, for stopping by, and
That was also Xavier's friend.
Xavier's friend
All right.
also for stopping
Xavier's
by and roasting Travis, calling him homeless. I guess that's the implication.
Yeah, that's the Apex squad right there.
Yeah, he's always a nice guy. let me tell ya.
Funny joke.
Ha!
Homelessness sure is funny.
I mean, it is though.
A sin upon us all.
Hot take, Travis. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream before we say more horrible things. Good night, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Good night, everyone, except for you homeless people.
Good luck.
Shut the fuck up, Travis.